Here's forgotten cartoon shows you might have seen once while growing up. Sagwa the Chinese Siamese Cat was a 2001 show set in ancient China following the adventures of Sagwa, a Siamese cat who lives in a palace to serve as a scribe. JoJo's Circus was a stop-motion show that aired from 2003 to 2007 on Disney Channel, and it followed JoJo Tickle, a 6-year-old clown girl, and her pet lion Goliath as they learned life lessons in Circus Town. Between the Lines was an educational children's show that aired on PBS in 2000, promoting reading skills through live-action puppetry and animation. It followed the family of lions who run a magical library where books came to life. Ubi was a children's show that aired on Noggin in 2000, and it featured bare-handed puppets with glass eyes. American Dragon Jake Long was an animated series that aired on Disney in 2005, and it followed Jake Long, a 13-year-old who can transform into a dragon to protect New York City while balancing his everyday life. And by far my favorite show to remember was Miss Spider's Sunny Patch Friends, which was an animated children's series that aired from 2004 to 2008. It followed Miss Spider and her bug children as they explore life in Sunny Patch, and OGs remember this ugly thing. Here's forgotten cartoon shows that you definitely seen once while growing up. Rubber Dubbers was a 2002 British stop-motion children's television series based around bathroom toys and created by the same team behind Bob the Builder. The set design around the bathroom was super creative and stood out to me as a kid. Out of the Box is an American children's television series which premiered on Playhouse Disney in 1998. And the series takes place in The Box, a playhouse made of entirely cardboard boxes where the host makes crafts, sings songs, and acts out plays. Kipper is a 1997 British preschool animated children's television series based on the characters of Mick Inkpen's Kipper the Dog picture book series. It was a simple and personal favorite of mine. Roly Poly Oly was an animated children's television series from 1998 that featured Oly, a young robot boy who lives in a fantastical geometric world filled with other robot characters. And last we have Peep in the Big Wide World, which was an animated children's television series created by Danish-Canadian animator Kaj Pindel. It aired in 2004 and ran for multiple seasons. And which shows from the 2000s do you miss and think were underrated? Here's forgotten cartoon shows you might have seen once while growing up. Busytown Mysteries was a children's animated TV series based on the Richard Scarry's books. Created in 2007 and followed the adventures of the characters as they solved mysteries in the colorful world of Busytown. Gullah Gullah Island was a children's television series created in 1994 that celebrated Gullah culture through the stories and songs of the Dace family. Set on the fictional island off the coast of South Carolina, the characters shared stories, sang songs, and taught viewers about Gullah traditions, music, and language. Maisie the Mouse is a 1999 preschool children's television series based on the book series of the same name by Lucy Cousins. The show follows the simple, everyday adventures of Maisie Mouse and her friends, and was known for its bright colors, simple storylines, and focus on early learning concepts like friendship, sharing, and problem solving. 3 Delivery was a show that aired on Nicktoons in 2008, which followed the adventures of 3 orphan siblings who worked as delivery runners for a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown. And do you remember Blue's Room, which was a television show that aired on Nickelodeon in 2004? It was a spin-off show where Blue can talk and had adventures with her friends in a colorful room. Here's forgotten kid shows that you definitely seen once while growing up. PBJ and Otter was a 1998 animated series about 3 otter siblings, Peanut, Jelly, and Butter, who live in a lakeside community and have everyday adventures emphasizing friendship and community values. Oswald was a 2001 animated show about a friendly blue octopus who lives in a vibrant city with his pet hot dog Weenie. The show focuses on Oswald's everyday adventures with his friends, teaching valuable lessons about friendship, problem solving, and embracing differences. Planet Sheen was a 2010 show that spun off of Jimmy Neutron, and in this show, Sheen accidentally crashes Jimmy's spaceship onto planet Xenu, and the Xenusians mistakenly believe Sheen is a powerful being sent from the heavens and crown him as their ruler. Hello Kitty Stump Village first aired in 2007. It was a stop-motion animated series featuring Hello Kitty and her friends living in a whimsical tree village. It was known for the charming claymation and focused on friendship and creativity. And do you remember Charlie and Lola, which was a 2005 series based on the books by Lauren Child? It follows the adventures of siblings Charlie and Lola, highlighting their unique bond, with Lola often needing her patient and resourceful brother to help her navigate everyday challenges. Here are some forgotten kid shows you probably haven't seen in decades. Ozzy and Drix was an animated show that aired from 2002 to 2004. It's a spin-off of the 2001 animated film, and the series followed the adventures of Ozzy and Drix inside a human body fighting against bad bacteria. The Proud Family was a series that aired on Disney Channel from 2001 to 2005, and the show followed the adventures of Penny Proud as she navigates the ups and downs of adolescence. Zaboomafoo was a children's television show that aired on PBS Kids from 1999 to 2001, and the show starred 2 real-life zoologist brothers, Chris and Martin Kratt, and a lemur puppet named Zaboomafoo. The show focused on teaching kids about animals and nature through fun, interactive segments. Tak and the Power of Juju is an animated series that aired on Nickelodeon from 2007 to 2008, and the show is based on the popular video game series of the same name, and it followed the adventures of Tak, a young shaman in training who possesses magical powers granted by him by the Juju spirits. And do you remember Pinky Dinky Doo, which was an animated series on Noggin from 2005 to 2011? It followed the adventures of the 7-year-old Pinky Dinky Doo, who has a big imagination, loves making up stories to solve problems to entertain her younger brother Tyler. Here's some forgotten kid shows you probably haven't seen in decades. Ooh, Ah, and You was a short-form children's show from 2005 to 2011, and it consisted of Ooh, the calm blue monkey, and Ah, the more hyper of the two. They became the official hosts of Playhouse Disney, introducing various shows and segments. Out of Jimmy's Head was a live-action teen sitcom based on Cartoon Network's 2006 film Reanimated, and it was the first live-action animated television series produced by Cartoon Network. Lazy Town was a children's television show created by Magnus Scheving, an Icelandic athlete who also played Sporticus. The show originally aired from 2004 to 2014 and was produced in Iceland, and it combines live-action puppetry and CGI animation to create entertaining and educational content for kids. All Grown Up premiered in 2003 and it ran for 5 seasons until 2008. The series featured much of the original cast from the Rugrats and included flashbacks to their toddler years in some episodes. The show is set 10 years after the events of Rugrats and follows the adventures of Tommy Pickle and his brother Dill, and the characters now deal with common issues faced by preteens and teenagers such as school, friendships, and family dynamics. Here's forgotten cartoon shows you might have seen once while growing up. Miffy and Friends was a children's animated series created in 2003 based on Dick Bruna's classic character Miffy, a curious white bunny. The show featured gentle stories about friendship, kindness, and exploration with a minimalistic style perfect for young viewers. Kid vs. Kat was a show from 2008 about Coop Burtonberger's chaotic rivalry with his sister's cat. The cat is secretly an evil alien, and the show combined slapstick humor with sci-fi elements. Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi was an animated TV series that aired on Cartoon Network in 2004 and featured fictionalized animated versions of the Japanese pop duo Puffy Amiyumi, following their adventures as they travel around the world on their tour bus. The X's was an animated TV series that aired on Nickelodeon in 2005, and the show followed a family of secret agents, Mr. and Mrs. X, along with their kids, Tuesday and Truman, who worked for the covert organization called Superior, while trying to blend their normal life. And do you remember Pokemon Chronicles, a spin-off without Ash, which aired in 2002, and it focused on the side characters including Team Rocket, Misty, and others, highlighting their adventures outside of Ash's storyline. Here's forgotten kid shows that you might have seen once while growing up. JJ the Jet Plane was a children's television series that aired from the late 1990s, and it followed the adventures of JJ, a small jet plane, and his friends in Terrytown, and it combined live action and 3D animation to create the whimsical style. Growing Up with Creepy was an animated series that aired from 2006 to 2008, and the show followed a girl named Creepy who was raised by a family of insects as she navigated life in the human world while keeping her unusual upbringing a secret. Kenny the Shark was an animated series that aired from 2003 to 2005 on Discovery Kids, and it followed the humorous adventures of Kenny, an anthropomorphic tiger shark who left the ocean to live with a suburban family, and his best friend Kat, a young girl who can understand his language. The Wayside television show, inspired by Louis C.K.'s Wayside School books, aired from 2007 to 2008, and it brought the whimsical and surreal world of the stories to life, focusing on the adventures of the students and teachers in the bizarre 30-story school full of absurd and comedic scenarios. And do you remember Pelswick, an animated series that aired from 2000 to 2002 created by John Callahan? It followed the life of Pelswick Eggert, a 13-year-old boy in a wheelchair, as he navigated the challenges of adolescence with humor and guidance with his quirky guardian angel. Do you remember these forgotten kids shows? Grossology was a Canadian series that premiered in 2006 and concluded in 2009, and it was based on Sylvia Brandze's book series. The show followed teen siblings Ty and Abby, who worked for the Bureau of Grossology, a secret government agency investigating science-based crimes. Puka was a South Korean-Canadian series that first premiered in 2006 and ran until 2008, with a third season airing in 2018 to 2019. The show followed Puka, an energetic noodle delivery girl who was infatuated by Garu, a silent ninja in Suga Village, and today the series has been reduced to a crypto coin. The Mighty Bee was an American television series created by Amy Poehler, Cynthia True, and Eric Weiss, which premiered in 2008 and concluded in 2011. The show followed Bessie Higginbottom, an ambitious honeybee scout who believed that she'll become the Mighty Bee superhero if she earned every honeybee badge, which led to episodic adventures in San Francisco. And finally, do you remember Ni Hao Kailan, which was an American animated children's television series that premiered in 2008 and concluded in 2011. And the show followed Kailan, a Chinese-American girl, with her animal friends as they handled problems and challenges while introducing young viewers to Mandarin language and Chinese culture. Which other shows do you think are forgotten? Here's forgotten kid shows you might have seen once while growing up. The Koala Brothers was a stop-motion animated children's series that aired from 2003 to 2007, which featured twin koalas Frank and Buster who fly around the Australian outback in their yellow plane helping friends in need. Mary-Kate and Ashley in Action was a short-lived animated series from 2001 to 2002 on ABC's One Saturday Morning block, produced by Dick Entertainment and Dual Star, featuring Olsen twins as secret agents solving global crimes with a flair for fashion, but it was canceled after one season due to low ratings. Camp Lazlo was a Cartoon Network series from 2005 to 2008 about campers navigating life at a summer camp called Camp Kidney. It was created by Rocko's Modern Life's Joe Murray, and it ran for 5 seasons, featuring unique humor and a rivalry with the neighboring all-girls camp Akron Flats. And do you remember Butt Ugly Martians, which was a 3D animated sci-fi comedy series that aired from 2001 to 2003, following 3 Martians who set to conquer Earth but instead fell in love with the American pop culture and secretly protects the planet from their boss, Emperor Bog.